Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Blogcast. This is part 2 of the first podcast that we did with Arjun Kohli. If you haven't seen that yet, the link is in the description. You can also find it over here. Today we're going to talk about entrepreneurship in specific. So if you're an aspiring entrepreneur, wait for the few tips that Arjun Kohli gives you. They're very, very insightful. Let's just get straight into it. Enjoy the episode. So, how much of a role do you think discipline plays in being a good entrepreneur?
I think it plays that bigger role that every day I just feel that I need to be a little more disciplined because I think every single time you slide off a little bit, then you realize that you are sliding off, and you need to be more disciplined with stuff. Yet you need to be disciplined to get things done on time. And being an entrepreneur, you're the one who initiates everything. You're the one who sets a timeline. You're the one who knows when to get things done and when it's important to get it done, because see, things are going to get done, but if they're not done timely, then they're not worth it. They're not going to benefit you as much. And to get things done on time, you need to be disciplined. Otherwise, I think there's no way around it. It's just imperative there when it comes to all of this.
Were you always as disciplined as you are right now?
No, I'm not even disciplined right now. So I wouldn't call myself disciplined at all. I would say that there are few people around me who are really disciplined, and they're always on time. So I just take cues from them and I push myself. But I think I'm a little better off than how I was in school. And college taught me a lot of discipline, at a personal level, and that really helps here. And nobody's born disciplined, so I think everybody can work on that. So it's fine.
When being an entrepreneur, how much of a role do you think emotions play? Do you think that they should be involved in running a business?
Since I've been doing this since so long, about 7 to 8 years. So sometimes you're not making money, and sometimes you just feel that you're doing this because you're attached to this, and attachment is roots out of a lot of piled up emotions over the years. So you really need to make a choice, and that's when you have to remind yourself: are you just doing this out of emotion, or is this actually benefiting you or the business or something like that in the long run?
So, for example, you're having a downtime in your business, right? And you feel like
Yeah.
you're gonna get to a very bad mental state if this prolongs for too long. How do you get yourself out of that?
If you're just having a downtime business, then you need to just be stronger, man. You can't you can't be low and everything. Of course, you hit a little mental low, but you need to wake up as soon as possible, because the more time you're going to waste thinking about that low and not about fighting back, you just digging a deeper hole for yourself.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you two situations, right? And I want you to tell me what do you think is gonna be the most profitable in the future, right? So
Yeah.
first, for example, is a venture startup. Until IPO, it's a minimum personal income and everything, and you have massive dilution, right? So by the time it hits IPO and everything, you're down to about 5 to 15% of your share, and this is basically a high risk, high reward situation. This is case number one, and case number two is based on compound earnings, right? So you pay yourself any amount you want from the profit, but this is a long-term game, right? Let's say 20 years, and every
Yeah.
year your annual return rate is about 20%.
These are just two different projects. Like, for example, for somebody like me, if and it's the amount of risk that you're willing to take. So, like, if the first option, of course, if that's a bigger picture, if that's something you can, uh, that's just something you would want to do once in a lifetime or twice in a lifetime. Build something that big. And because I'm sure that'll be like an amazing idea. That'll be something that you're really passionate about and everything. So there are times when you can chase your passions, and there's another time when you're just chasing money. So the second option is just about chasing money. So if somebody's financially stable, and actually, like, most of the people are financially stable, but they're not happy with the amount they're earning. So if somebody is a little content, of course they'll go with the first one. But if somebody just doesn't want to risk it and is in a stage in his or her life when they actually want to they're like hunting for stability and seeking stability and everything, so they'll go for the second one. For me personally right now, I would go for option one. If I'm being gonna be diluted to 5 to 15% over, let's say, 20 years and everything, I still wouldn't want to lose the sense of ownership in what I'm doing. Of course there can be multiple owners or something, but for somebody like me to put in that amount of effort and wait for that long and still see the light in the end of the tunnel, uh, I would do that, but I would keep a sense of ownership with me.
How have you applied the idea of optimizing your time while you're at a business space and you have a bunch of different things you need to deal with? How do you go about to choose the most efficient way to spend your time?
I really value my time and everybody's time. So what I do is I just break down my day, my the first half of my day. I'm better at the regular operational stuff, so I allocate my first half of the day for that. Whatever operational issues are there, or even wherever I'm required, or and everything. And then let's say around lunch or a little post lunch, I like to devote to any kind of new things, even if it's just new product development, even if it's a new project and everything. I work best after lunch, when it
Mm.
comes to all of that. And before leaving office and everything, let's say the next 2 hours, I'm just making sure that I've planned the rest of the week, the rest of the day. If some things are lined up for the next month, are they just on track and everything.
So, do you have any tips for any young entrepreneur out there who's, let's say, in college and he's just started to work on an organization?
Every mistake is going to cost you, so learn at somebody else's cost. I learned everything and on the job, and of course I was the one who is and those mistakes were costing me. And second, I would suggest, so when you just whatever, don't don't have no as an answer to anything. I mean, pick your battles, just see what all you have to do, but try to gain knowledge about anything and everything that's around you. That's
Okay.
it. So these two things I think you really need to live by.
Great.
Hello everyone, I hope you enjoyed my time with Arjun Kohli. This is a sum up of every single thing you've learned in this podcast. Firstly, what Arjun Kohli talks about is discipline, right? Everyone should be disciplined in order to be a good businessman, a good leader, a good entrepreneur. No one is a 10 on 10 in discipline. No one's born disciplined. You teach yourself discipline and you always can get better with respect to it. If you think you are disciplined, just keep working towards getting a little better than before, right? Because life is all about growth. One other thing that I took away from whatever he said was that you should be able to surround yourself with a workforce or with a support group that kind of pushes you to be more disciplined than you already are. After this, Arjun Kohli talks about the role of emotions in business. You should be able to detach your emotions from your work. As a businessman and someone who's been hustling for a while, you will face issues. Everyone faces issues. And with such a large organization behind you, you will have the pressure to deal with those issues as well. But at the same time, when you're going through a hardship, you can't sit in a corner and weep about everything that's happening around you. You need to think strategically, you need to think how you're supposed to deal with the problem for your entire organization to get over it and move forward in order to grow your business. When I asked him about how he deals with it, he said there's only one simple trick. You just need to tell yourself that you have to move forward and you don't have another option. It's just as simple as that. As a leader of a business, your job is to manage time efficiently. In order to do this, you need to make a schedule. People really tend to underestimate the power of a schedule, right? Because when people have different schedules in place, you can concentrate on one thing more efficiently. And that way you'll get done with a lot more in a less amount of time. When Arjun Kohli was asked to give tips to an entrepreneur who's just starting out, this is what he said. Number one, learn at somebody else's cost. A lot of people learn things the hard way. It's because they've made mistakes and they learn from those mistakes. What if you don't have to go through that hardship, but you can still learn a lot? You save yourself a lot of time and energy. And number two, in just different words, Be a yes man. It's a big world out there. There's a lot to explore. Even though you're very sure that you want to do one specific thing, there are 10 different things that might interest you as well. And just doing a lot of things will open a lot of doors for you. You'll get a lot of new opportunities. So that was it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Hit the like button if you think this video is worth watching for everyone else. Hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you can see new videos every single Friday. That's it, everyone. See you guys next Friday.